All right, guys, we are back with an NFO Cyphers episode. We had an exclusive today, okay? And I have sitting here with me Mick Jenkins. How you feeling?
Yo, I'm good. I'm great, actually.
Of course, of course. One of the things I wanted to ask you, how were you feeling when you went and you did your 10-year show of the waters? Like, I know that I feel like that might have brought some good emotions in that.
Yeah. I've been reflecting on that all year. I've been on tour and I was just letting people know, like, you know, something I say a lot is we can't do this by ourselves.
Yeah, I love that.
I feel great. I think over my 10 years in this game, I think no matter how much time you put in this game, it's real easy to feel like you get overlooked.
Yeah.
No matter what level you're at. I think the way that you care about your art is not the way that everybody else cares about your art. The way you rank your art is not the way that everybody else ranks your art. And because that's something that happens so frequently in hip hop, I think it's very easy to feel like, damn, they ain't thinking about me, or damn, I'm not getting a certain recognition.
Right.
But being able to do this for 10 years, being able to look back and know that you sold out shows and people continue to support and people continue to bring up the projects that meant whatever to them for 10 years, I think is the biggest thing for me that reminds me that none of that other stuff matters. Nothing's more important than that as far as what I'm doing. So celebrating that and remembering that feels good. It is the reason why you're talking to me right now. You know what I'm saying? So it feels good for sure.
Yeah, I think that's something important. Like, I always like to go back as far as I can on artists, because I feel like that person molded who they are today as an artist, and it's a big deal. So you said that you were we touched on recognition about things. So when I first, obviously I know who you were, but when I started digging a little bit deeper, I got on TikTok and I noticed I kept seeing Mick Jenkins is one of the most underrated rappers, but this was end of 2022,
a long time ago,
beginning of 2023. So how does that, what can you say to people who were putting that kind of content out about you?
Being underrated, being considered underrated always feels bittersweet.
Yeah.
I think there's an acknowledgement there that you should be more popular, or that whoever's expressing that opinion wants you to be more popular or wants you to be more known. But there's also the acknowledgement of that you're not.
Yeah, because clearly something's working, right?
At the same time. So that always feels weird. I think it's something that I've been getting for the bulk of my career. It's something that I've had to learn to just not think about too much.
Yeah.
I won't say I don't care. I care. But I think getting wrapped up into caring about that too much is only negative for me. So
like Erica said, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
So it doesn't behoove me to focus on that very much. Yeah. So,
well, I mean, that also brings me to your tour then, because we want to talk about underrated. My dude just went on a fucking world tour.
Yeah. Sold out 80% of the tour.
Yeah.
So I think, again, it's stuff like that. I get hit up a lot to support other people's tours because of my hard ticket sales. It's stuff like that I gotta focus on to remind me. It's it's a lot of people out here that are real popular that don't do well selling hard tickets, that don't do well bringing people out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's those kinds of things that really give me confidence in who I am as an artist and what I've built so far.
Yeah, and I think you have stayed relevant. There hasn't really been a up and down.
Yeah,
up and
where
down.
I'm at, I've been
Been
here. I appreciate it.
Slow increase for you. Yeah, of course. I want to touch on Roy G. Biv. I love that music video.
Thank you.
I love the record in itself. I mean, the whole album in itself is great too. But that was one of the ones that really stuck out to me. So how was that creative mindset for that music video for you?
Somebody else came with the concept.
Okay.
The creative concept for the song, honestly, drove where the video went. I think it's just an exploration of color, simply. I think literally, I look at a lot of literary devices and things that I could do while I'm writing, and I just sat and was like, what haven't I done?
Yeah.
And color popped in my head. Obviously, it's why we went the direction that we went with the video. When I was presented that treatment, I just thought it played on the colors well. I think we could have executed better, but again, behind the scenes, you always fighting things that people don't know about, right? Fighting budget, fighting who couldn't show up, and stuff like that. So things like that were happening on the video.
Yeah.
Overall, I love the product.
Yeah, I loved it too.
It's just a play on that metaphor.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that I'm like a rap connoisseur or a critic or whatever, but I know my shit.
Word.
Your double entendres that you be throwing in your music, I just want to
Thank you. Thank you.
I catch that shit and I'm like, wait a second, let me put that back real quick.
I
What
appreciate
did
it for real. I put the effort in, so I appreciate it.
Yeah. I want to bring it back to the waters again because I feel like that was just like a kind of a pivotal moment for your rap career. What was one of your favorite songs on that album? Just like creatively and as an artist, as a person?
One of my favorite songs on The Waters is one that people don't love on The Waters as much. Is Jerome.
Really? I like Jerome.
Yeah. I think a lot of people thought it didn't belong, like it didn't sound like the rest of the music.
Okay. What do you think, though?
I just like, for me, it was a standout song for me because I don't rap like that.
Yeah.
Right. So anytime where I'm exploring tone and delivery and it works,
yeah,
it's always something that I'm like, oh man, I should get back to that. Or, oh man, I wonder what space was I in with. I fixate on it. And so when I think back to The Waters, yeah, that stands out for me a lot. It's just like, damn, I did this whole project this way. Why did that song sound? You know what I'm saying? So I think that sticks out for me a lot.
I mean, again, I thought it was great. That is one of the ones that stuck out to me. I don't know if it's just because of the name or whatever, but I did enjoy it. That kind of pulls me into, I always ask like a quirky question. What's something that people assume about you that is absolutely not true?
That I'm very serious.
Very serious?
Yeah.
I don't know. We kind of all were like,
yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah. People close to me know I'm a clown, straight up clown.
What's your sign?
And I'm an Aries.
Okay.
But we talk about that a lot. Is that I don't think anybody who don't know me knows that at all.
Okay.
I don't think you could imagine how silly I'd be. I don't think. You know what I'm saying? Just from what you said, it's like how I'm very aware of like how I present myself when I walk into certain spaces and all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, of course you wouldn't know. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I saw the little silly though, like when you had came in, you know, you were very professional, came in, and then you saw that chair and you just kind of like let loose and was like,
I didn't think I would ever see that chair. Yeah, that's my excitement. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, that chair is super dope. Do you have anything coming out that everybody should be aware about? Anything that you're working on?
Yeah, this music industry is not built for us as artists. Point blank, period. There's a lot of ways to explain that, but very simply, that.
Yeah.
So I'm moving into a space where I'm fully independent. I've been operating independently for quite a while, but now nobody's attached to my money. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, and just trying to architect what that's going to look like. I think streaming isn't for me, right? So what do I do to alternate from streaming, instead of that, right? Essentially, I think for me, it's if I'm going to remove myself from a certain system, then I have to create one. Yeah. I can't just remove myself and say, hey guys, I'm not a part of that anymore. Come fuck with me.
Right.
I gotta give people something to do. Yeah. I gotta give people something consistent. I gotta feed people in a certain way. And so I've been trying to come up with the experiential things and the online content and presence to kind of roll out to match everything that I just said. Yeah. And I've been doing that pretty successfully. It's just not time to hit the button for go yet. Okay. So what people can expect is a lot of new music, a lot of new content, monthly things for them to come out and experience me and other fans of my music. Like listening parties or bazaars or, you know what I'm saying? Just, like I said, different type of experiential things for us to get in front of each other. I think with what I just said, people are stuck on the internet as well. Artists, music, businesses alike, doesn't really matter. I think people are very focused on how do we attack the market, how do we attack fans and people and audience on the internet. And I think people forget that you can just do something really cool outside and people will show up. Yeah. So, a lot. People can expect a lot. I'm moving back to Chicago to kind of start doing all of these things because I feel like what I want to do needs to be done at home. So a lot of new music, a lot of shit for people to show up and show love with their bodies and their person. Just vibe. And speaking of new music, me and King Trey got shit coming out as well. Soon, so, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, how has it been working with Trey?
Easy. It's always been easy. He hit me up a few years ago. And we just had steady collaborations over the years.
Yeah, good music.
And then caught him in LA. We were in the studio for like a week and a half. That's how this project came together. I think that's been a marker for me with anybody. I work with people consistently, organically, when it's easy, when we connect, so in that sense, it's real easy with talented people to lock in and knock out a bunch of songs, which is exactly what we did.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's been very cool.
I love that.
For me, it's more of an EP. You know, I think even for myself, I'm about to drop a bunch of projects that I'm sure people are going to call albums, but it's just like I wouldn't call it an album for my own. For me, an album is a 2-year process. You know what I'm saying?
What consists of an album?
Yeah, for me, it's a different type of an intention for albums and EPs. I think when left up to the fans, they gonna call a project whatever they think it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got EPs that people put in my album lists all the time now, and it gets frustrating, but it's like whatever. They're gonna do whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? But for me, the difference really is the intention. There's no way that I'm gonna call something that I went in for 2 weeks on, 3 weeks on, the same as something that I did for 2.5 years before I put it out. You know, an album for me has a lot of revision. A version that you heard of the song 3 years ago is not going to be the version that you hear when it comes out. If it's an album joint, it's just not. There's 3 or 4 iterations of that. We might have changed the beat, we might have changed the drums, we might have changed the chorus multiple times, trying to find the perfect version that we think it is. That's how I work on an album. So if I'm not doing that, it's hard for me to be like, yeah, this is an album. Because it's just like, for me, it's almost disrespectful to the intention that I'm supposed to put in or that I did or didn't put in, you know? So
I like
that's where that comes from me.
Yeah, I like hearing that, being able to hear that come from an artist. Anything that you're like super stoked about that's coming up, that you know is like in the books and you're like, man, I can't wait to get to this?
What I just told you, to push go. For me, everything that I want to do starts with the music. So there's a lot of music that's about to come out. I got a project of my own coming out. Me and King Trey have a project coming out. I'm finishing a project with my DJ Slime. I'm trying to finish a project with Kitchenada. That stuff's easy though. That's me going in the studio and locking in. You know, that's my job every day. You know, I think the hard part is the creative, is the making sure you got the content. We're forced to be content creators now, right? So making sure you got content to support everything. Making sure that I'm about to drop a project with myself. I'm about to drop a project with King Trey. The world building on each of those needs to be different. You know what I'm saying? The music's got to sound different. They got to look different. The content can't be the same. You know what I'm saying? So I think getting all of that together is what I'm doing right now. I'm excited to press go. I'm tired of telling people what I'm doing. I'm tired of trying to get people excited with my words. I'd rather love to just be like, see what I'm doing?
Yeah, but I think
y'all love this shit, right?
Like, this is coming, you guys.
Right, yeah, but so when you ask me that question, that's my only answer is like to be ready to push go. To be ready to release. It's so good. It's so exciting for me. I just want people to know it. Yeah, like as opposed to me being like, "Hey, y'all, it's coming." Like
that's like when you like have a gift for somebody and you're like, "I gotta wait till Christmas to give it to you."
Right. Why tell me now?
Right. Well, what is, instead of talking about the future, let's go into the past. So, what is like one of the most monumental moments for you of 2024 so far? We're like halfway through the year now. We got about 6 months left.
Monumental.
Okay, maybe not monumental. Maybe not monumental. That is a little dramatic.
Nah. I was gonna give you an answer. I think it's tour. I toured this year, and I haven't toured since 2020. I think that's a lot of people's case. You know, I think obviously music has been back active again since COVID, but I think there's a lot of artists that haven't returned to what they were doing before. And that was monumental for me to see us sell out 80% of a tour. But more than that, to just see people still show up. I ain't dropped no music. You know, I mean, I dropped The Patience, but like before that, it's a long time. It's the same thing that people are saying about Kendrick, you know, being gone for 5 years. How does that affect things? So I'm thinking the same thing myself. You know what I'm saying? Not releasing music for 4 years. How does that affect what happens when I get back into the marketplace and I try to have shows again and I want people to come support me and it was really monumental for me to see that kind of support still there years later after taking off for some time to get myself together, for the world to, you know, like reset. That's not a small thing for me, you know, so that was pretty big.
I think what I like doing about my artist interviews is like getting the artist perspective, because I have like the outside fan perspective, but hearing you guys talk about it from the artist perspective, like getting out there and like seeing you, like your fans, I bet you they were just so fucking excited to be like, holy shit, Mick's going on tour. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's what I felt.
Why it was 80% sold out.
Yeah, that's what I felt for sure.
They were waiting for you.
And that feels crazy.
Yeah. All right, last question. It's another silly one. What was the best food you ate while you were on tour? Because you went a lot of places. Thought-provoking.
Yeah. I think we were in Dublin, and I've been vegetarian my whole life.
Okay.
I eat fish now, but I've been vegetarian my whole life. Whenever you're somewhere where people are not expecting a vegetarian to say, yo, I'm vegetarian. Yeah, like what you get.
Right.
It's terrible.
I can only imagine.
Absolutely terrible. Like I've been brought fries and peas before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like as opposed to my friends eating Wagyu. You
Right.
know what I'm like, hey, I'm vegetarian, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I got something for you.
Right.
And bring back some fries. Yeah, so I didn't expect it to be good.
Yeah.
I had no expectations at all. I'm like, oh, it's just gonna be one of them situations where I probably don't eat what they got. You know? It was something that you shouldn't have a vegetarian substitute for. It was like this hearty meat soup that is just like, oh, well.
No meat in it.
There's no, if you're gonna make it for me, there's just not gonna be any meat in it.
Yeah.
And it was just like this vegetarian meat that I never had before. It was amazing. The vegetables, the sauce, the meat was hidden. You know what I'm saying? It was amazing. So I would say that's the best thing I had. I don't know what it was. We were joking that it might have still been meat, which is, you know what I'm saying? We make those jokes.
That's why it tastes so good.
But shout out to, what did I say?
Dublin.
Shout out to Ireland, man. Shout out to Ireland for sure.
That's what's up. All right. Well, I mean, I usually have people tell them where the people can find you.
My name's Mick Jenkins. I'm from the south side of Chicago. It's Mick Jenkins on everything. MICK, YouTube, MySpace, tagged.
If you ain't know, big fucking too.
High Five,
for real.
Black Planet, you know what I'm saying?
Black Planet.
Everywhere. Much love.
Thank you so much.